Hello, welcome back to the commentary playthrough of Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. So, in the last part, this will be part 5. In part 4, we were doing the Dalit mission. Finished that up. So, things that I changed since then were I learned some abilities with the GFs. So I went down to that area on the beachhead where I explained in the last episode and kind of grinded around for some AP. But maintained a low enough level though, so that that there's no hardships when it comes to leveling, and the monsters outbidding us and stuff like that. So essentially, you just want to go down there to the beachhead. You'll fight groups of 2 Fasticalin Fs, and they are these kind of monsters. They'll start out as a little fin in the ground, and you attack it, it'll pop up. They net 3 AP each, so the most you can gain at one time is 6 AP. Which I went ahead and learned a few abilities. So we got Card Mod, very useful. Some more of the junctions. So I ended up getting more junctions for Zell. Now he can equip stuff in Strength and Vitality. Squall can do HP. Selfie can do HP and Magic. And I switched over her status attack to Sleep, which is kind of useful in the early game. And pretty much a lot of enemies that are susceptible to Sleep will, you do want to cast that as much as you can. I think Blind's a lot better than Magic in this game because everything likes to kind of hit you physically. But we'll save that for when we get more status attacks. So now the newest thing I opened up was the ability menu. So if you go into the ability menu, you're going to see that whatever your GFs learn as far as like the refinements will come in here. And this is where you can absolutely break the game wide open if you know how to use this. So for instance, like if I know that it takes one of these to make 20 Blizzaros, which is the second stage of Magic for the Blizzards, you can just kind of grind around and figure out where do you get these Arctic Winds from. Mostly though, the most useful refinement is definitely the Card Mod, because you can turn your cards into specific items that you need. Some of them will be blanked out because you need a certain amount. So like the Chimera card, I will need 10 of these to refine into one of those. So on and so forth, 3 Iron Giants for 1 Star Fragment. These things, so like I said in one of the videos, you'll have to collect 20 Elenoil cards in order to get 2 energy crystals, which will help you get Squall's ultimate weapon in the very beginning of the game, along with a bunch of other, late game materials. But I mean, if you know what cards to get, what people to battle for these cards, you can absolutely just become a brick house at this point. So if you turn some Tonberries into Chef's Knives, Chef Knife can refine into the Death Magic. So you can get a lot of really powerful magic to start out with. If you just go around and card battle, you're off to a tremendous start. But for this instance, like to show how these work. So if I have the ice refinement and I get a new magic like water, so water is not going to be able to be drawn from any monster right now at this level of the game, but you can get, a pretty powerful magic to kind of start out with. So I would give this to Squall and Zell. And the reason I do that is because water magic at the very early game is great for strength. So you'll see that it's, Blizzard, I have 100 of these Blizzards. And there is no Watera or Waterga like most of the other games. So water is just the only stand-alone water magic in the game. So it makes for good, it can kind of fit in any slot pretty nicely here. So it just depends on what you want to use it for. I use it for strength because it's going to be, like I said, very good for the early game. So now Zell's hitting at that 41, and then Skull will be hitting at from 36 to 48 with it. So this is what I mean by the junction system. You know, you just go ahead and figure out what you want to do with it. Status, you know, upgrade your stats the way you want. Find out what magic suit better for which stat, and then you just kind of go from there. Now, what I was saying about breaking the game wide open, though, is like, just say that I have, you know, the very basic cure spell and a couple S units, you know, and they've upgraded me from whatever my base was, so 702 without it, and 952 with it. So with these GF abilities, Siren learns Life Magic Refinement. So if you were to spend, you know, more money on tents, which tents are 1,000 gil in the game. So if you held on to your gil here, right? So I have 5,000 gil. If I went into the town and bought 5 more tents, then I would be able to give one character 100 Kiragas, which is, you know, the third tier and the best tier of the cure magics. So with that, if I equip that Kiraga spell into Squall's HP, he would jump from basically from 720 all the way up to the 3000s and or 2000, like, you know, very late 2000s here. So you would have a character that would have so much HP, you know, and I mean, that's just the way to play it, you know, and this is what I mean by you can break the game wide open, which HP is something that you really need in the game, right? Because that's how you survive, obviously. And, you know, for a certain GF that we need earlier, it's not going to really help too much because of his magic that he's going to use on us, but it's good for, you know, just having around, because you have a character that's essentially invincible in the early game. So just to kind of show what I mean by this, and this is why I say hold on to your money at the start, because you can do this, and then you're pretty much set for the majority of the first and second disc. Now, I wouldn't consider this like any kind of cheese or anything like that, because if the game system, you know, has you junction certain magics to your thing, and if you spend enough time upgrading your GF's abilities and getting these refinements, I mean, this is part of the game, you know, this isn't like I'm pushing the right stick down and gaining the limit break every single time, you know. This is something that if you just know what you're doing in the game, then, you know, use it to your benefit, basically. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So now Zell's mom has opened up to card gaming, and we definitely want to battle her for cards because she holds another player card in the game that we would want. Except this one's really rare to bring out, so it might take quite a few attempts to get her to play it. So I'll keep playing her. I'll rejoin you guys when you see it and when I get it. won a few rounds there, so I'm going to go ahead and save, so I don't lose all that progress. And what we're looking for her is she's going to drop the Zell card, so it'll take a few attempts. It's a very rare card to pull out for her. So yeah, as a general rule, you always just want to just try to get the NPC to, you know, get tricked on the way when it comes to that. So if you always play kind of defensively and put things in the corner, they're going to go off of you. But if you just play something like I did in the middle, they're going to go after and try to win it. And then after that, you just kind of have to play with the board and see if you can win it. But yep, so we got the Zell card. It transforms into Hyper Wrist, which I would not suggest hard modding any of the player cards right now. That's more of like an end game type thing for when you need stuff. But when we get later on into the game, we're going to get forced into a rule called Random, and Random will basically just pull any card that you have within your deck, and you know, you're forced to play with that 5-hand. So you want to learn card mod as early as you can. It costs 80 AP to do, so that's why I suggest doing the little grind down there in the ocean. So at the very least, get card mods so that you can get rid of these like weaker cards for when that roll does appear, so that you don't have a chance of pulling some pretty bad ones. And if you end up with, you know, like a bunch of these ones that require, you know, multiple cards to transform into an item, keep playing the game. Hopefully you win those cards and then transform them if you don't like them. But for the most part, the ones that are requiring us to have multiple copies are pretty powerful, so you can win hands with them. It just might take a few turns. So with that out of the way, we've got the Zell card. That is the second player card that you can win in the region. And that would do it for all the rare cards at this moment right now. There is one more that we can win. I just don't remember if he drops it right now or if we have to wait later on in the game. Oh, and I misstepped there. So, earlier I was talking about the Kiraga spell and how it can be used to pretty much give one character an obscene amount of HP for this part of the game. So if you saved all your gil, and you come over here, you go to the shop, and you buy all the tents you can. You go to your life recovery magic, hit your tents, go to Squall, and give him all the Kiragas. And then I always make sure to rearrange my stuff, just because of organization. And then if you go on the Squall, you now see, I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about here, you know, you're going from, you know, what should be 702 to 2,902, which this character will probably not ever face any situation where he's going to be in danger unless we get a pretty bad spell cast on us, which we will here in a bit. So you go ahead and equip that. It just increases your chances of survivability. So then, you know, for the rest of the game on that end, you're going to be trying to work for, you know, the money in this game is really essentially useless when it comes to just having it. The weapons are very cheap to buy anyway. What we're about to get is called a SeeD rank, and once we get that SeeD rank, you know, your salary is based off of what your rank is. So if you have a high rank, you know, you're going to earn a lot of money, and the way that you earn money in the game is by, you know, walking a certain amount of steps, and then you're just going to see on the bottom right a SeeD rank pops up with the amount of gil that you earned. And the amount of, you know, this can decrease and increase depending on what you do in the game. So the more battles you run away from, it's going to decrease. Any negative dialogue that you choose is going to decrease it. You know, you just want to stay kind of like a perfect player. Fight every battle, try not to run from anything, and the rank will increase over time on its own. Additionally, you'll get, like, in the configuration menu, or in the tutorial, wherever it's located, yeah, in the tutorial menu, you're going to get a test. So the test will open up, and you'll be allowed to raise your rank, depending on where you start at. But it is level-based, so the highest rank you can achieve is an A. But to get there, you're going to have to be past level 30. So it goes up to level 30, and then it goes to an A rank. So you'll have to be at level 31 or more in order to get the most you can out of the ranking system here. And you kind of want to do the test early. You want to match your rank with your level as much as you can throughout the game, because once you get to a certain point in your leveling, you're not going to be able to take a test anymore to increase that rank. So you'll be stuck with what you have. And in my experience, even though I've always fought every battle and done everything correctly, for some reason the rank just drops on its own. So, you know, there's times where I've been at A and then it'll just drop straight back to 30 or 29, and that's kind of like where I finished in the game. So with that out of the way, we got Squall upgraded. And then, just for simplicity's sake, because I know it's going to come next, we're going to be forced into a mini boss battle after some scenes here. So you kind of want to take away Shiva from Zell, and you want to take away Selfie's GFs as well. Yep. And then give all those GFs to old Questus here. Yeah, I learned some additional abilities too, like, you know, you get the Vitality by 20%. I got Move Find, which finds hidden save point and draw points, which will be, you know, easier to find. You don't need that ability in order to find the hidden draw points. If you just know where they're at, you can just hit X in that spot, and it'll give you a message, you know? So you draw whatever magic you find. But you will need it for the hidden save points, which there's just a few of them in the game. They're kind of convenient, though, for some of the harder areas. So because Questus has no spells, I want to give her, you know, the best spells that I can. So he probably would take away from Selfie here. I don't know why this menu always confuses me. So the player that you're trying to give magic to, you want to have in your selection bar, and then at the bottom is who you're trying to take from when you're using the all command here. That, or you can just simply just do the junction exchange, but you know, because there was GF spread all over the place, I had to do it like this. So now in this situation, you know, you can sort your magic one by one and do it like this, or you can have the ability to just auto junction. And if you choose the auto junction, you can junction by attack, magic strength, or your defensive options. So generally, I see what they usually go with for the defensive option, because it's going to give me the best magic for the HP, and the best magic for Spirit. So anything, Vitality, HP, and Spirit are going to get junctioned with the best magics in there. And then you can kind of just play around with it and see, you know, do I really want that? Do I want my strength upgraded? And whatever, right? So this is pretty good because there's not a lot of magics in our inventory anyway. So we'll keep it just like this. And then now we will go ahead and progress the story. Yep, so the party will dissipate, and then all you're doing now is you're just trying to clean up some things. You can do more card battling, whatever you want to do from here, you know. I hate this screen. Now we have an HD SeeD over there instead of his pixelated form. So I'll just walk over to the group. Depending on your answer, you know, it's your attitude adjustment here. For your SeeD rank, I would just say it feels good. Headmaster likes that. So then after that, after you're done talking to all of them, head out. You can't get to the save point. You're going to be blocked because the story is trying to progress you to your room. You can take the opportunity to play the card game here if you didn't get the mini-mog. Yeah, some pretty brutal things being said here, you know. But, you know, Cypher does it to himself. Yep, the faculty garden guys are just all about that money. Now you'll be able to hit the save point. So you're going to be blocked from a lot of things here now. Just progress the story. Gotta walk around, talk to the NPCs. I'm not really sure if this is on a timer or something, but I usually just run in the back. Try to pop forward. Yeah, it's just one of these annoying, like, how do you get the scenes that trigger, you know? Yep, so no one from the Intrepid group. I'll speed this up. And so come over to the headmaster. I think this is actually missable. So if you don't get the battle meter, you'll miss out on it, but it's not that important, to be honest. It's just kind of stats on what you're doing in the game, how many battles you ran from, and stuff like that, how many fights you've been in. Yep. Exhaust all their dialogue, and then if you go into, I think it's the configuration. See, actually, I don't ever use it, so I don't really know. Hey, but anyway, you get a little battle meter. I'll figure it out later, but it's really not that important to look at. So that's actually not bad. I think I've achieved like a SeeD rank 8 before, but you know, 6 is a pretty decent start, especially for gaining gil and stuff like that. Conduct was pretty good. My judgment and attack. So the judgment was probably lowered because I probably took a little too long with the spider on trying to leave versus attacking it. Attack, again, I bought everything, did what I needed to, but it just wasn't good enough. Look up a guide if you need to see how you can get better ranks, but you know, honestly, it's really worthless. Alright, so we'll head into some more scenes, and then we will be given our first mission. I will rejoin after all this. Ah, the infamous me. Oh yeah, the dance, the ballroom dance sequence. I love that. I just Quest is coming in and being completely upset right now. Obscurity. Kind of wish you had the option to stay in that stuff, you know? I think the SeeD uniform looks pretty cool. But, you know, what's Final Fantasy game without millions of belts on you? Yeah, so this sequence of the game, every single place is going to be blocked by these guys. Because they just really, really want you to do the story. So we will oblige. And this is where we learn about the hidden dangerous enemy that those two guys were referring to in the early game. So just a reference to how to defeat stronger enemies in the game is, you know, if you know what you're doing with the junction system, then it's going to be better for you. So it's just, you know, wise to do that if you wish to. Thunder's not going to really help what we're going to do here. So the enemies we're going to come up against are usually weak to ice or fire. You can start with fire in case you fight some grats. I don't think they're actually weak to fire, but, you know, why not? Just extra damage, really. And then for her magic, see, we have this. Oh, sleep was acquired, that. So we actually want Questus to learn sleep here. And then for spirit, we're just going to have to take a miniature hit. Because luckily nothing really casts magic in here anyway, so we don't have to worry about spirit. But you do want sleep. And blind would be okay to put on her. So we'll just plus them up to 1,000. And then essentially you could take either route. Either way is going to take you to where you need to go to. But just keep in mind that we do have that blizzard draw point, so if we want to get some more blizzards, you know, we can just come over here. Always check their magic, see what they got. Silence isn't too bad of a magic to actually have on you. But just keep in mind there's actually no way to heal yourself unless you're using your own magic. So I would just stock up on a few of these. Just so you have them. And this is why I don't like to stay in these fights. So enemies will not stay asleep for the entire battle, but basically anything physical will wake them up, and magic attacks will just keep them asleep. There's one particularly annoying enemy that will use sleep on you and then just spam magic, so you'll just have to wait until your party wakes up, which thankfully that is a thing. So all the Grat fights are going to go just like that. I mean, they're just your basic fodder enemies here. Squall's just a guy that does not care about nobody. So we just get a little back lesson from Questless here. She's been fired basically as a instructor because of Cypher's failures. Joy's being a leader. Subordinates will always get you. Yeah, Squall's he's just a hard ass, you know, he's not gonna. His personality in the beginning is kind of dislikable, you know what I mean? He's very bland, very straight to the point though, so some people might like it if you're, you know, self-withdrawn within yourself, and, you know, that's just who he is. He's just an introvert, and that's fine. So mega fight here with all these brats. You know, just kind of fight them, get some extra experience. We are coming up to a boss fight, so if you want to, you know, look over your GF's abilities, then go ahead and, you know, kind of pre-plan what you might think you're going to get. But honestly, these are enemies that are common through the game. So it's more of a mini-boss. It's not really like a boss. I don't think I've ever seen that animation before. You just got lost for you with that. Alright, so for the Grinaldo fight, if you actually cast Blind on a bunch of these enemies, then you'll be set up perfectly, because this is just a physical fight. And it could take a while for the status effects to actually hit though. So like I said before, just general rule of thumb, always check their magic to see what they got. And this guy could actually be very resistant, or he's just immune to blind. So sometimes if like if the draw cast doesn't work, it's probably better to use it from your actual magic pool. So if you just kind of stock it and then throw one on him, it has a little bit more of a higher chance to hit. It's all depending upon your magic stat, how resistant these enemies are. Yeah, I just don't think this guy's gonna take to it, so we will continue to stalk. And in this sequence, I mean, if you have a chance to draw a lot of magic, I mean, just do it. You know, there's really no harm in doing this. Right now, he's just the only problematic enemy right here. That'll probably help to put him to sleep too, so you know, just play around with it. And then just kind of stock up on shell and protect magics too. This is the name of the game. Just keep stocking up. Maybe in future episodes I'll cut out this withdrawal part of it all. But I mean, these are actually pretty quick just because of the comps 3 option. It's just when it comes down to how many, if they have multiple magics to draw, then, you know, this is going to take a little bit of time. Because I do want to, like, get to 100 for each if I can. Okay, so as we get closer to getting hurt a lot. We can actually take out a few of these guys. So if I'm not drawing a lot of magic like this, then I'm failing constantly, then, you know, maybe I'll just not do it. So it's kind of a grind to wait like 100 turns to gain as much as you need here. but just a few to start out, you know what I mean? Because it does help with like your vitality junction and stuff like that to have these spells early. It'll just set you up better. Just gotta take the time to do it. Yeah, poor old Squall's just having a hard time drawing right now. This process will go a lot faster when your magic stat's pretty high, because you'll draw 9 guaranteed each time, but because we're drawing like 1s and 2s and missing a lot, I mean, it's just a drag right now, you know? But the early game is going to be like it. And we'll just let Squall continuously draw those protects until it gets to 100. I hate when I do this. Oh my god. Oh my god. There we go. So anyway, it's good to take time to, you know, gain those magics, because it's kind of hard to come by those any point past this right now. And the boss was honestly easy, because it didn't do that much damage anyway. I just needed 2 cures, basically, to power through that. So, you know, you can tank the damage and stuff like that. And then, with all that, now that we got some new magic, so I wish we got more shells, but, you know, he was just being a little too aggressive there. But magic's like Shell and Protect are going to be great for your vitality. So, you know, you replace those with something better. Spirit and Shell go really well together because it's magic damage and, you know, or magic damage reduction, and Shell does exactly that. So this is what I mean by just kind of playing with it and seeing what works for you. But I'm going to stop the episode here. I'm going to go find a save point, and then we'll continue with the rest of the story after this. So thanks for watching.